So in this video, we'll be taking a look at loops. So loops in JavaScript are a type of programming structure, and they repeat a set of instructions until a certain condition has been met. In this video, we'll be taking a look at for loops and while loops. So let's hop into our intro.js file. Now to create a for loop, we use the keyword for, followed by an open and close bracket. Now in this open and close bracket, it takes in three expressions which are separated by semicolon. We've got the initial expression, and we declare that using a variable as a convention variable named I, and we set it the value of 0, followed by semicolon. And then after that, we put the condition expression, which let's set it as when I is less than 5, followed by another semicolon. And then the last expression in here is the increment expression. Okay, so it's how much we increment the variable I by after each iteration of the loop. So in this case, let's put I++. Now, plus plus is shorthand for I is equal to I plus 1. So what this means is that through each iteration, we start off with I is equal to 0, and then after it executes one time, we then take I, which is 0 plus 1, and then set that to the variable I. So then in the next loop, I is now 1. So it's been incremented as 1. So you can think of this variable as a counter, and the condition here, once this condition has been met, then the for loop will stop executing. Okay, so as long as I is less than 5, it will continue to loop. Once I is equal to or greater than 5, then the loop will stop executing. All right, and lastly, we put the statement block here. So an open and close curly bracket. And inside here is the statement in which is executed through each loop. So as an example, let's just console log the variable I. So what do we expect? We expect through each iteration, the variable I to be printed onto the console. So the first time it will be 0, then the next increment, we expect it to be 1, and then 2, and then 3, etc. So let's test that and open our intro.html. Open the console. So as you can see, ignore the first line. As you can see, we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's remove this array data here. All right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see that the for loop stops at 4 because the next increment I becomes 5. And I is not less than 5 anymore in this condition expression. So it stops executing the statement block here. Okay, so that's a for loop. Now, moving on to a while loop, we use the keyword while, open close bracket, and then we've got the statement block here. So inside this parentheses here is the test expression. So while this expression in here is false, the while loop will continue to run the piece of code that's inside the statement block. So let's say var increment is equal to 0. And then in the while test expression, increment is less than 5. Okay. And now let's do increment plus plus. So remember, our shorthand is the same as this here. So we can do increment plus 1 and save. And before that, let's console log increment. Okay, let's get rid of the for loop for now and refresh our browser. So you can see here, line 44, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, line 44. So that's coming from the while loop now. Okay, and we can set that to 10, save and refresh. So now it's printed on the console up to 9.